Okay, we have a little bit of cab in this lovely blend that you've made. This is the Celestus. I guess I should be pouring for you
I can
first.
pour for you, no problem. Thank you.
Look at the color in that. Now tell me what this blend is.
So I wanted to do something really fun with this. And as you know, in France, you have a lot of limitations as to what kind of grapes you can grow where. So for instance, in the Rhone region, you're required, for the appellation's sake, to only plant certain grapes like Syrah. But then you go to Bordeaux, you couldn't plant Syrah. So you will never see in France, or I should say almost never, see grapes from the Bordeaux region and grapes from the Rhone region blended together. But here in Paso Robles, here in California, we're allowed to do things like that. And that's what makes California a lot of fun, is as an artist, I can create things that don't have limitation in terms of what I can put together into a bottle of wine to really reflect something that I love. So this is a true example of that. It's actually where Bordeaux meets Rhone. You have a Syrah grape, which is from the Rhone region of France, which is a little bit northern part. And then you have Cabernet Sauvignon and Petit Verdot, which are from Bordeaux. And they're both basically blended together to make a blend that I call Celestus.
Now, is that tradition that they only grow in those regions, or is it because that's their terroir?
Limitations.
It's
actually limited by the government. So if you planted, for instance, Cabernet in the Rhone region, you could not say where the wine's from. You would have to come up with basically no appellation, which is nobody does. So you basically could not find Cabernet Sauvignon in the Rhone region. You couldn't find Rhone varieties in the Bordeaux region.
Okay.
But here again in Paso Robles, not only can the climate and the terroir handle it, but legally speaking, we're allowed to do whatever we want to. And that's when I decided to make a blend somewhat where Bordeaux meets Rhone.
And the blending is really what winemakers seem to be embracing in a big way. I mean, there are still some people out there that I want just a certain varietal, and I'm a traditionalist. But I got to tell you, California winemakers are embracing this in a huge way. It is like you get to be an artist, right?
Yes, absolutely. You get to be an artist and freely express your love for what you're creating without any limitations, which is the beauty about this. Now, interestingly enough, in France, most wines are blended.
Really?
So the reason why winemakers in France started blending wines is because it's hard to accomplish everything with one variety. Sometimes you want a great bouquet, a great nose, you want a great attack to the wine, you want a great middle palate, a great mouthfeel, a great finish. Rarely does one variety accomplish all that. So traditionally in France, they would blend, but basically keep it so to be able to get the full experience of a wine tasting, so that you get the nose. So if one variety gives you nose, you add that. If one variety gives you middle palate, you add that. But they would always keep it within a variety of grapes, within a certain set of grapes.
Right.
So for instance, there are 5 red Bordeaux grapes. You can blend all 5 of them, but you can't blend Rhone.
So you have, it's just like you got the big box of crayons.
Exactly. That's right. That's a great analogy. You are freely allowed to do whatever you want to here and use any crayon you want to draw your painting.
And the wine critics are noticing, because Celestus has been recognized for being just a fantastic wine by Wine Spectator.
Yeah, Wine Spectator, by Tanzer. Wine Spectator just a couple months ago highlighted it as one of the 13 most exceptional red wines that they reviewed.
In your shipment.
I received a 90 point, which it's not easy to accomplish with Wine Spectator. It's one of our best-selling, wine here. People love it. Most of our, people that come to the tasting room love to buy the wine and drink it. And it's a wine that will age and do very well with some year as well. It's a big wine.
And anybody who keeps up with the rankings of wines with any of these critics, you'll notice that a lot of the blends from Paso Robles are starting to make that list. So the blends is a new phenomenon, and I'm telling you, you need to take a look at them because they're fantastic, because you're getting the knowledge with the winemakers of really letting them do what they want. And this is a fantastic one that I know your chef has suggested maybe lamb with this.
Yes, lamb goes very well with that. You have hints of eucalyptus as you can smell and on the nose, and you have some tobacco, some coffee as you're drinking the wine, and that seems to pair very well with lamb. Generally speaking, Syrah goes very well with lamb, but this wine really does a great job pairing with lamb shank or leg of lamb, rack of lamb.
Yeah.
Does very well with that.
If you're not into the nose of a wine, you may want to really check it out on this one, though, because it is sort of an experience. You do smell the eucalyptus and the... Oh, man. It's a little party in your nose and a party in your mouth. So thank you very much.
Chin
We
chin.
are thrilled
Cheers.
to profile Daou Vineyards. It's a fascinating story, so please check it out on the website and come on out and pay a visit and join their wine club. They have a phenomenal wine club. It's a very fantastic place to visit, and it's growing. You just talk about the purchase real quick. You just purchased another.
So yes, we just purchased. So when we first got the property in 2007, it was 100 acres, and it was part of the original first modern winery in Paso, which was called Hoffman Mountain Ranch. And we're fortunate enough that about a month and a half ago, the actual original piece where the winery, the first winery in Paso, was on, in addition to 112 acres, was available. So we actually purchased it, doubling the size of the estate. And as you can see over there on the mountain, I don't know if you can see, we'll be planting about 33 acres in the next 2 months of Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc mostly.
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, it's a baby cub that's going to be a grizzly, so enjoy the journey with it and enjoy getting to know the cub right now
you.
that's already growling and making noises all over, and pleasure to call you friend.
Same here. Thanks, Jeanette.